Hi, my name is CliffLett. I'm from Fountain Valley, California. I started off-road racing about 4.5 years ago, and since I've won 6 national titles, 6 last year, 1 this year so far, and I hope to win maybe a few more before the end of the year.
I'm JayHalsey from Hawthorne, California. I race 1/10 scale off-road. It's a fun sport to get started in. I got started because it was a fairly inexpensive way to start racing. Lately we've been doing pretty good. Just recently we won another national championship in 4-wheel drive class. We ended up second in the 2-wheel drive class. My accomplishments in off-road racing is I was the first ever IFMAR world champion, and I've won several national championships. People think the competition isn't there because you're not in the car, but it's not true. There's lots of competition just like real racing. Alright, this is a 1/10 scale off-road car. This is RC10. I'll tell you a little bit about the car here. Up front we have a shock absorbing bumper to absorb some of the impact. Most tracks it's mandatory you run one of these. We have independent front suspension with coilover oil-filled dampening shocks. We have a dual servo saver that eliminates the bump steer when the suspension moves up and down. This is a steering servo. This gets its transmission through the receiver when you tell it to steer, with your radio. And the receiver is the brains, basically, of the car. It receives the transmission from the radio and tells the speed control or the steering servo what to do. Battery pack, SCE, it lasts a little bit longer on the track running time. So you could run 6 or 7 cells. We run 7 cells for a little bit more horsepower. Moving back, this is a Dean's antenna with a little booster built in. Gives you a little bit better radio reception. Plus, we like to run them because the antenna doesn't get caught in the wing when you flip and stuff. Moving farther back, this is a Novak speed control. This varies the throttle to the motor, the current going to the motor. We have independent rear suspension with coilover shocks in the back too. The very back of the car, we have a transmission with a differential in it. This is the power plant of the car. It's a remodified motor, 05 motor.
And I'm going to show you what kind of chargers we use. This is what we call a remote charger here. Here we have, this is a Novak peak charger. They're pretty much automatic. When we hook them up to the batteries, here you can see this is a 7-cell battery here. And the charger senses when the battery is charged by its voltage. When the voltage reaches a certain peak, the charger automatically clicks off and goes into what we call a trickle charge, which is a very mild charge. And the battery here is 12 volts. Obviously it's an automotive battery, and this is what people use when they're in a remote area for charging their RC car batteries. There's also, aside from using the remote charging, this method is using a 12 volt power supply, which you can plug into any household outlet of 110 volts, and it brings the voltage down to 12 volts and allows you to charge up your RC car batteries.
on Deadpool was to drive a little miniature Corvette through the streets of San Francisco and chase Clint Eastwood's car around. It took several weeks to film and several weeks beforehand to build the cars, and it was a lot of fun working with his crew and the stunt people and the special effects guys, and that was the first film or anything we really worked on, me and my father. Our latest film, we worked in Ghostbusters 2 driving a radio-controlled baby carriage. And that was a lot of fun too. It was a scene with Sigourney Weaver and chasing through the streets and a lot of action shots.
Probably the best way to enter into off-road racing is to obviously find a local hobby shop that carries RC cars and go in and talk to the people, and most of the hobby shop owners and people that work in the shops are really friendly people, and they're really enthused to have new people come into the sport. the tracks are spread out over various areas around the larger cities. Most of the hobby shops, or your larger hobby shops, will have a track that they operate themselves. You're going to get your best experience by practicing. And the more practice you can get on a track, the better you're going to be. And the more you can concentrate and not worry about people that are driving in front of you or behind you, and people yelling from the driver's stand, or if your car flips over, not getting upset about it. The main point is to stay relaxed and have a lot of patience. And patience is probably the hardest thing to learn in RC racing, is to be able to tell yourself to take it easy, slow down a little bit, and stay behind somebody until maybe they make a mistake and make your pass a lot easier.